out on WRMN. It's the talk of the town, so come on and listen now. It's Dino's Night Out on WRMN 1410. Dino's Night Out on WRMN. It's the talk of the town, so come on and listen now. It's Dino's Night Out on WRMN 1410.
And hello, everybody. Welcome to a special Thanksgiving edition of Dino's Night Out. I know you were saying, man, we got a reprieve because he wasn't on this Friday, the Bears, and the Bears won. They won big. So go Bears. Let's hope they can keep up that enthusiasm and keep up playing as well as they have been. Who knows? We could get another Super Bowl shuffle song going. I don't know. But nonetheless, here I am, and we're doing another show because we've got family in town. We got family in town from Connecticut. And we said, you know what, let's do a little something. We could talk about family. We could talk about all types of different things. And that's just what we did. So in the studio, our family got just a little bit bigger because when my son Anthony married Julie, this is her father. And this guy here, his name is Sal Trombetta. Say hi to everybody, Sal.
Hello out there. Hello, listeners. Dean, thanks for having such a regular guy like me on the air.
You are. We're all regular people. You know that? And this is the time, this is our Thanksgiving time where we're thankful for all the people that are in our lives. And we're fortunate. I'm certainly fortunate to have you guys here. And we had how about it? We had a nice little holiday, wouldn't you say?
It was great. In the few days we were here, we did a lot of things. Anthony was our food tour guide.
Yeah.
We're still feeling it, but it was a great couple of days.
So, you know, we had the Thanksgiving celebration. And of course, I showed this on Thanksgiving Day, but I'll always use the opportunity to get it out there. And these are the pictures of our family members. And you see Sal and Joan. Joan is Sal's wife on the right bottom corner. And you got my granddaughter, our granddaughter, Gianna in there. And you can see just above them, which is right over here. I guess it doesn't point like it used to. Anyhow, that's Julie, Gianna, and Anthony. And then, of course, Rizzo. He's my pal. Big Cub fan, too, by the way. So that's Rizzo and Gianna in that picture over there. So, you know, we had broke originally when they had the baby. And there it was. When they first had it's a girl. We congratulated Sonny Anthony and wonderful Julie, bringing Gianna Marie Delaley into the world. So that's what got us to where we are. And that's why we have Sal here in the studio. And, you know, we were talking, you know, I got to find out what Sal does. Sal does some, you know, financial advising. And he's been doing that for some time. He's had a good run at it. So that's great. And he said, well, what do you do? And I said, well, I work at a law firm and I have a radio station that you know, I'm able to do a few shows and manage and operate and blah, blah, blah. And he says, wow, that's kind of neat. So I said, well, let's do a show. Let's talk about our families a little bit. And he says, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. And, you know, anybody from finance, anybody from investing, they could talk. They could sell. They could tell a couple good stories because I can only imagine the stories they're telling their people on investing. I'm only playing. But I mean, I would imagine that he's going to be able to talk. And, you know, socially, we were sitting together during Thanksgiving and during the christening, beautiful service at Holy Family. A shout out to Father Terry. Came out special on Saturday for us. It was wonderful. Holy Family Church in Inverness, just I think a wonderful christening. Would you know?
It was beautiful. It was great to be a part of it. Certainly
Yeah.
was. Yeah.
But it went good. So we started talking a little bit. So I'm probably going to ask Sal some of the same questions. So if you see in his eyes, like, really, are you asking me that? We already did this already. I'm just going to take that chance and go into it, right?
Okay, let's go.
So what do you think of Chicago? First off, let's get to that.
Well, great town. I think this might be the third time I've been here in my life. Came through real quick one time when I was driving through after I picked my son up from graduating from Arizona State. Prior to that, I was here on a business trip, pretty much stayed downtown. So pretty much the downtown, quote, Wrigley Field area was the places that I mostly spent most of my time. But, being out in the outskirts, being over around with family, it was quite different. And
Yeah,
certainly
different
it was-
vibe, different feeling, wouldn't you say?
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's great. We're glad that you made it in. You had some different foods. I know you said Anthony, my son, was taking you around a couple different spots. But where did you go? What
Yeah,
did you
well,
like the best?
we did have we kind of ran the gambit, and you might have to refresh my mind on the name of these places. But I started off with a place that gave me at 10:30 in the morning a double hot dog with French fries that you eat. The
Gene
French
and
fries,
Jude's.
yeah. While you eat while you're eating the hot dog. Usually, I'm used to eating the French fries on the side. I'm not used to having them inside the bun. So that was quite an experience. We
And
just
in
started there.
Chicago, there's no hot dogs on ketchups. You know that.
Oh, I was Anthony had warned us, don't ask for ketchup. So,
Yeah. Don't
we
make a big
made sure
thing
we
out of
didn't.
it.
Yeah, exactly.
But did you enjoy? What'd you think of it that way?
I
It's
loved
kind
it.
of different at first, right?
I was a little surprised that there was a line at 10:30 in the morning for hot dogs.
Yeah.
I mean, where I come from, I mean, a hot dog is lunch earliest. Right?
They were rated #1 hot dog stand for
Well,
many years
I,
running.
I could see why.
Yeah, it's
So
a
we
great
went in there
place.
with our group and we chowed down on a dog or two with the grape aid and the fries, and right away we dug right into Chicago lifestyle.
You know, you saw the corner where it was located. There's the gas station that's there right now.
Yes.
So even though a little footprint, there was a big place called the Thirsty Whale. And the Thirsty Whale was all the bands, all the rock bands would go there, and that was their venue and play. And a lot of times you'd either stumble or walk out of the place and go right next door to Gene and Jude's and get the hot dogs because they opened late
Oh,
hours.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it was always a treat. I mean, it was a great place to go. Thirsty Whale had something, and then there was another bar just down the block, a little bit called the Nickel Bag, I think is what it was called. But everybody always ended up at Gene and Jude's at the end of the night because no matter where you went, you typically ended over there, just because there was the Jack in the Boxes were starting to disappear because that was the other
Sure.
location everybody would go. So then he started going to Gene and Jude's. We made it our thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's something. Anthony, I guess, has been going there since he was a little kid.
Yeah,
so it was
we've been bringing him
It was
there
a
for-
welcome home for him.
Yeah.
You know.
It really wasn't. If you haven't had them in a while, you get that bite. And they got those real potatoes that they
Yes.
make
exactly.
fresh right there for you, and nothing like them. The big salt container right on the counter, and you just salt the heck out of everything. Yeah,
That was great.
salt's been a little bit something for me. I haven't had much of lately. So I was there not too long ago. I said, I have a taste for a hot dog. Oh my God, the salt was just overpowering for me. But yeah, great sandwich, great hot dogs over there. I'm glad you got to experience that.
It was some.
Everybody liked it, right?
I certainly think so.
Yeah. Okay. And then you went downtown. Where else did you end up going from there?
It's the
Do you
next
remember?
stop that we made. Let me see here. So I know we made our way into downtown Chicago, and we
You get the welcome from the city. I understand you got a parking ticket.
yeah. Well, that was yeah. We didn't have a ticket at Wrigley Field to get into the game, but we certainly got a ticket on the way out without seeing a pitch thrown. But other than that, we went into the city and we went over to a place my niece Laura was told about too, called the Billy Goat.
Yeah. That's
Uh,
Underground Whacker.
Yeah, and that was kind of interesting. You know, you walk downstairs and they're making cheeseburgers. We go over to the bar and have a couple of local ales, and that was great. I mean, it was another taste of Chicago.
Yeah. It was the grill style
Yeah.
restaurant. All the media would all go there because the Tribune was like directly across the street. And so like you get a lot of the guys, journalists and what have you, stop in, grab a quick burger. And where it really became famous was on Saturday Night Live. That's when they really turned it.
Oh,
into
the
something.
cheeseburger.
Yeah,
scene, right.
cheeseburger. No Pepsi or no Coke, Pepsi or whatever it was, and no fries, chips. Yeah,
I think a number of those Saturday Night Live casts, some of the original casts, like John Belushi, and also he's a Chicago guy. Isn't
Yeah.
he?
yeah. John was. A lot of the people were.
Murray,
a whole host
Bill
of-
Murray, I think, also a Chicago guy.
Bill Murray, definitely a Chicago guy. Yes, and but they made that one piece. The Billy Goat Tavern piece. Just, I mean, it was always a neat place to go beforehand. My father had an art studio right around the corner, which was kitty corner from a pizza parlor called Uno's, which was that deep dish
Mhm.
that you experience somewhere else. And, as a kid, we would go there on the weekends. I'd work with my father, and then we would end up, sometimes on the way home, or maybe he'd break for lunch, and we'd go to the Billy Goat Tavern. Sometimes you'd see like Irv Kupcinet was one of the columnists that would go in there, and either they're working a story or just, you know, kicking back.
Actually, above the bar were all these
Yeah,
columnists and their
all the
names.
journalists and that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
it's really
pretty,
kind of
it's
neat.
pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm glad you got to get to
Yeah.
experience that. That's a neat thing to go
Yeah.
stop and see.
Right. Then we came up through the cellar, and Anthony brought us. We kind of walked up and down downtown Chicago, went into the building. It brought us up to what, the 360, where you were
John
somewhere-
Hancock
the
building.
John Hancock
Yeah,
building,
very nice place.
all the way up to the whatever floor that brought us up there. Well, the helicopters were flying by at eye level, so certainly we were up there and looked down the.
Did you go on that extension?
I didn't. It was
observatory?
on the other side, the tilt, I believe it's called. We did not do that. It was on the other side of where we were kind of hanging out and having a drink. But it was a beautiful, clear day. We got to see Chicago from upstairs, which was kind of cool.
Before the sun, before the snow started
came
coming
in.
in.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
how about the snow that we had? They're claiming it to be the largest that we've had. It was only 9 inches.
Well, it was all day, because we were in it. I mean, but we got through it.
Excellent. And you're from Connecticut, for those joining us today. And what's the weather like there? I know you're near the ocean, right? How far?
Yeah, well, where we are in Connecticut, we're very close to the Sound. I mean, maybe we're like, depending on where you go in Connecticut, but where we are and where we live, we might be like 15 minutes from the Sound, but we're probably about an hour or so train ride or car ride out of New York City.
Oh, beautiful. So that's like us going to Chicago,
Right.
the amount of distance Connecticut going into New York City.
And I think I would say Chicago, compared to New York City being maybe a third the size, roughly, from what I hear. I look at it as as a smaller, cleaner city than New York.
Really?
I don't know. I think so.
Huh.
Unless
Well,
I just happen to be
New
in the
York
clean
does have-
areas.
New York does have that problem. See, I forget about that. They don't have the alleyways like we have here. So their garbage cans are like put out in front, and
Right.
different strikes and what have you if they've gone on through the years. But it's just, it could be a slide.
It's just a lot of volume.
Yeah, that is big.
I mean, we were
It's a big
surprised. I
a-
mean, we were there on Friday, which is, I think, one of the biggest shopping days of the year. And okay, it was kind of crowded going through the town, but not like New York City crowded
Yeah.
traffic. I mean, this was light compared to, I think, what we were used to.
And they were even saying, I was watching on the news this morning, they were saying they were like about 3 to 6% down, actual shoppers going
Really?
out to the stores. But the internet sales have gone up. So God knows what tomorrow isn't Monday,
Cyber Monday is tomorrow.
So that's got to be huge, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you tell your people not to be wasting the money on that, or what?
Well, I think there's, you're probably talking about the internet and AI, which is, I still think we're kind of in the third inning of the AI boom and what's going to happen down the
There's
road.
a lot.
I don't
going
know
on
what
with
goes with that. If there's some risks involved as to having that kind of technology at your fingertips, but certainly it's coming. I don't believe there's going to be any way to stop it.
I think what's happening now is people are more embracing, as far as AI is concerned, what you could do with it, fun, how you could modify videos, and you don't know what's real and what's not anymore, which is the bad thing. I've always lived a life of believe half of what you see and nothing of what you hear, right?
Sure.
So if you could kind of stay with that, I think you're going to do well, also. But I think this AI has a lot that's good out there. Put it into the right hands, and I think that it could probably expand a lot of different things. It could expand maybe the research of finances. What's a better trend to go with? You plug all these things into there, and then it comes out and it give you the reason why, and it'll give you the complete history as to why they believe it to be that way.
Well, I think there's some risk there involved too. I think a lot of people feel if you're part of a corporation and you have a part ownership in the corporation, AI might allow you to do what needs to be done with less employees. So maybe that's better for the bottom line, but is that better for the workforce?
And you know what? And that's my biggest concern is just what you're saying, that you would be eliminating a lot of jobs, or potential of eliminating. We don't know for sure. But I think you're always going to have somebody there, in my opinion. So I don't think AI is going to completely consume our lives. I think it's going to be something where we could use it again in the proper hands. It could be a nice enhancement, for learning. If you want to use it for learning, young minds. Julie, my daughter-in-law, she's a school teacher, so maybe there's a use for it in the classroom. I mean, we'd have to ask her about that, but I bet there could be a use for it within the classroom. I know a lot is being used with papers for college and what have you. That it's supposed to be a lot of research, a lot of hard work. You throw maybe 15 different topics you had, and you throw it into this AI. It gives you a beautiful paper that you would never have written yourself.
Well, I think, and my daughter could comment on this certainly a lot more extensively than I can, but she says, and she's got to watch out for AI doing their work.
Yeah.
So she wants their mind, not AI.
I don't know. I don't know that it could, if you think it would help in the classroom to replace an educator, I don't think that's going to happen, because you need to see the person. You need to see whether they're responding. That's a human being. That's a young mind. And I would think you want to develop them before people are going to just trust. And I'm sure this is not going to be overnight in the years to come. But I can't imagine that you would want to do anything other than being there with the children to make sure that they're advancing to where they have to go.
Well, I think there's always going to be room for a teacher. I think my concern would be, but are you really getting from the kids, them, what they have to offer, as opposed to what some AI bot has to offer?
Yeah.
Well, I guess time will tell.
Time will tell. We're just going to have to wait and see. But your stay in Chicago was good. We got off the topic here. We started talking about that, but that's what happens. And that's what this show is. You're listening to WRMN 1410. We're here live in the studio today. It's a Sunday. And I says, you know what? We'll open a studio. Let's come on. We'll do a little extra. We're streaming live on the YouTube. Somebody wants to call in if you're listening. It's 847-931-1410. 847-931-1410. Talk to Sal Trambetta. I mean, he's got a wealth of knowledge in a lot of areas. Sal's got a lot of cool things he's done. He played baseball for the longest time. He was doing pretty good. Semi-pro. He was out in Los Angeles where he was playing baseball. That had to be pretty neat, huh?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I mean, obviously, I played all along, and then I got into my mid-20s. I moved out to Los Angeles to take a job out there, and hooked up with some kind of semi-pro team out there, and hey, it was great. I mention all the time. I mean, living in the Northeast. Our season was short because of the weather, but out here, these guys were playing all year round.
All year round, yeah.
And I think I don't know if it's just that I was 25, 26 years old playing. I was probably at my prime too, but to just play from one season roll into another, it was a good time for me.
And you were left-handed, right?
Yeah,
Did you
batted
ever
lefty
pitch?
through lefty. I did a little pitching in high school, not much, but a little bit here and there.
And I'm the wrong guy on the sport, so explain at least just a little bit. Is it a unique thing to have a left-hand batter?
Well, there's certainly less of them playing, just because I don't know what the figure is out there, but there's just that less left-handed people out there. But there certainly, I don't want to get too technical on the baseball side of things, but being a first baseman, there's some advantages being left-handed, being able to grab a ball and throw it to second base. You're kind of going in that direction. When you're holding people on, you can stand to the left side of the base, and you've got your glove on the base side. So there are some advantages to being left-handed. So that's comes into play.
Yeah, I bet it would. Okay, I was just curious because I didn't know. Okay, so you're left-handed. Big deal. Do you do everything? Do you write left-handed? And
I know I'm totally left-handed with everything. In fact, I kid with your son. When I started picking up golf, and I'm like, geez, I don't know. I bat lefty, I throw lefty, but I don't know. When I go to play golf, whenever I went to drive range, all they had was right-handed clubs. So that's what I grabbed, because that's all I could hit. And then one time I was on a business trip out in Colorado, and there was some pro who said, I called him and said, yeah, I wouldn't mind taking some free lessons, but I got to be honest with you, I'm just starting to play golf. I'm naturally left-handed, but I don't know. All I ever get is righty clubs. He goes, you know what? I'm going to bring righty clubs and lefty clubs. He put both on the cart. We drove around. I hit some righty. I hit some lefty. He said, I don't know. You could probably go either way, righty or lefty. And since your dominant hand or arm is left, play righty. I kid with your son a few times. We get together, go out and play golf. I'm not much of a golfer. I'm happy if I break 100, but I told Anthony, gee, if I went out there once just for the heck of it and grabbed some lefty clubs and shot in the 80s, I'd hang myself.
There you go. I only shoot in the 70s.
Yeah.
Anything cooler than that, I won't go. I won't go to the golf course.
I got you.
But yeah, it was my old standby joke. But that's what's unique is that you're an athlete then, evidently, because whatever it is you pick up, whatever hand you decide to use it, and it's the way you train yourself to play. So you learned how to play golf with your right hand. The rest of your life was all done on the left side.
Right.
So there must be something to it.
I
You're
don't know.
still hitting it.
Yeah, I'm still out there. And the key at this point in my life is just about who you're out there playing with and who you're spending your time with.
Yeah. Your baseball team, I imagine, is a Yankee.
Yeah, well, I'm a Yankee fan because growing up, that's what my father watched. And if I wanted to watch any baseball on TV, it would have to be the Yankees. That's what he was watching.
So that's what you're watching from now on.
Yeah.
My mom was a Cub fan, even though we broadcast here Chicago White Sox. We're home of the Chicago White Sox and partnered with Good Karma. We played her games, as well as the Chicago Bears. We play on her station here. But in my heart, I've always been Cubs fan. And we were 26th and Wallace in Chicago, which was right down the block from Wrigley Field, basically. So it was like we should have been natural White Sox fans.
Right.
But my mom, and I tell everybody all the time, she didn't make 5 feet and tougher than any guy you ever met. And she said, Cub fans, we were all Cub fans. Okay, Ma, that's what we are.
There you go.
Yeah. So and they're good. Everybody loves the Cubs. You go to Wrigley Field, and it's the same thing. I've been to the Yankee Stadium. It's nice over there. It's comfortable. You know what I mean? You feel like it's that old school, old style, Babe Ruth days and what have you.
There certainly aren't many of those type of fields left.
No.
For sure. Well, maybe one, Fenway Park in Boston, right?
Yeah. They say that. Is that the one that was mirrored after? Or what?
I think it might have been. Yeah,
after Wrigley?
Yeah, it might have been.
The
That
friendly
open
confines.
setting, the green monster out in left field. It's quite a place. It's one of those places. That's why I say, what is it? Chicago, the friendly
confines.
of Wrigley
Wrigley
Field. I
Field,
think you get the
yeah.
same kind of feel at Fenway. We're just that much closer. There's not a lot of foul territory, so the stands are that much closer to the players.
Excellent. We're almost getting to the bottom of the hour. So what we're going to do, we're going to just stick around. We're going to talk for a little bit
You'll
some
have
more.
me, sure.
We're going to go into our next portion of the hour. Going to be me and Sal. Talk about a couple other different things going on, what's happening. But we do have the whole family here. We got everyone here today. We got Joan, which is Sal's wife. We got Jackie, which is the sister to Joan, and Laura. That's Jackie's daughter. And my son Anthony, of course, and Julie. So, hey, you listen to WRMN. This is 1410 AM, and we're going to be back in just a few short moments. So stay tuned with us. You're going to want to hear. Sal's a whole lot more exciting to talk to than just me. So stay with us. WRMN 1410. You want to call in? It's 847-931-1410. We'll catch you on the other side.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
It's what we were taught, trained, and told to do.
It could be for anything. Helping a friend move.
Listening to a fellow veteran for hours, at any hour of the day.
Or just simply making time for people. A neighbor, a loved one, or even a stranger.
We're often the first to help others. There's no question about it.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When was the last time you reached out for help?
Perhaps it's time to do for yourself what you would do for others.
If you or someone you know needs resources, whether it's for stress, finances, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Hi there, Tammy Scully here from Talk Time with Tammy and Friends. Join me and my sidekicks, Nancy and Becky, for valuable lifestyle tips and unique views and insights on interesting topics and everyday situations, providing nonstop fun and chuckles for all. Get the scoop on consumer news, deep dive on current events, and learn about the newest economic trends, from exercise and gardening to music, travel, recipes, sports, pets, real estate, media, and everything in between. And it's all sprinkled with a healthy helping of bad dad jokes and interesting fun facts to boot. Tune in Mondays through Thursdays from 2 to 4 p.m. for a little fun, frolic, and infotainment. Join us, won't you?
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast, brought to you by Hot Hands, America's favorite hand warmers. This afternoon, patchy blowing snow before 3 p.m., mostly cloudy with a high near 30, and gusty winds up to 25 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 8. Tomorrow, snow afternoon, mostly cloudy with a high near 27, and a strong chance of precipitation. Currently, it is 31 degrees and overcast. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
Whether it's morning routines or weekends on the sidelines when the temperature drops, America brings the heat with Hot Hands. Hot Hands are America's favorite hand, toe, neck, and even body warmers to help you stay warm and cozy from head to toe. Hot Hands are fast-acting, they're long-lasting, and they are made right here in the USA. Look for the Hot Hands logo and the bright orange packages at your favorite store or online, and keep doing what you love out there with Hot Hands, warming up America coast to coast.
Children are the greatest joy and our best hope for a better future. Friends, they are the future. But did you know that millions of kids right here in our own backyard are facing hunger every day? Without healthy food, it's harder to grow, to thrive, to feel their best.
The impact when children don't have enough to eat is tremendous because when you're hungry and your basic needs aren't being met, you cannot learn.
Every child deserves to be fed. This is a problem we know how to solve. Food is not just food. It's energy, health, confidence, hope, and even love. Yes, love.
Breakfast in the classroom contributes to kids being more focused, which leads to higher grades, and simply just their well-being.
Thank you! Learn more about how No Kid Hungry is helping end child hunger in America at helpnokidhungry.org.
And we are back. You're listening to WRMN 1410, little special Thanksgiving edition of Dino's Night Out. Got a great guest here, Sal Trambetta. He's going to be talking a little bit more about himself. And I do have to, those of you playing the home game, we have a scratch on the lineup. I had said Jackie for Joan's sister who's here today, and it's really Janice. And I was calling her Janice. I sat right next to her all through the christening. How the heck I got Jackie? Bottom line, I can't read my own handwriting. So nonetheless, Jackie is here in the house, and she is here with her lovely daughter, Laura, and of course, her sister, Joan. So that's the family members that came. My son and Julie, of course, had to come out. And we got Sal. Sal is in the station. So what do you think of that, Sal? I had to make that correction. I don't want to have you go home.
Well, I appreciate you do that, but what I appreciated more in the break was I was able to bite into one of those Italian beef sandwiches.
Like that. Okay. We had my son Anthony had some Portillo's brought in. Wouldn't be my first choice, but they're a good beef sandwich. You liked it?
Oh, unbelievable.
Did you get peppers on it?
Actually, I'm not a big hot peppers guy, so I just had it straight up.
That's okay. It's still good.
Excellent.
What flavor? Yeah, it's all about the bread, too. I think they use the Toronto bread as well. But yeah, they're good beef sandwich.
If we didn't have the break when we did, I'm sure my sandwich wouldn't even be waiting for me for the family in the back.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, they know better. They're going to keep it around for you. So we talked about a few things with you, and that's great. And that was just more the warm up and the teaser, so people know who you are, where you come from. But really, what we should hear, and I'd like to get even a little bit some more, even though we did talk. You were born and raised in Connecticut or New York area?
In Connecticut, Norwalk, Connecticut specifically. Yes.
Norwalk, Connecticut. You did your little piece out there in California, but it was like you're a little bit older. But
Yeah,
that
it was in like
only a
my early
2-year
20s,
deal.
right?
Okay. So let's just bring it all the way back then. Forget about the 20s for now. Let's talk about growing up. I've always heard that New York suburbs is a lot like Chicago and the Chicago suburbs. You got this pretty cool pizza place, I understand, by you guys.
Yeah,
What's that?
it's I believe it's kind of nationally renowned Pepe's Pizza, and I think our governor of Connecticut just recently named like Connecticut like the pizza capital of the world. So I don't want anybody calling in. I know Chicago's certainly got their pizza of their own, and we could talk later about the deep dish that I was able to have a day or so ago. But no, Pepe's Pizza is an unbelievable place. And when I went to moving along, when I went into college in New Haven, that's actually where Pepe's was.
Gotcha.
So we were able to be right a part of we're spoiled, just like you guys are spoiled.
And you guys use it the pie shape, right? Isn't that how you get pizza?
Yes,
out
yeah,
there?
it's the thin
Even
crust.
when they send it home, it's a pie shape?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, they do. Not here, here I actually like the deep dish better, and I can't get any deep dish pizza.
Yeah. Well, we get I like a nice thin crust, easy sauce on the well side. And lately, I've been putting the hot jardinere peppers on them. Okay. Oh, is that excellent? But I like the squares.
Okay.
When you get it delivered.
I don't care what size it is, as long as it's the
pizza's
flavor that I
pizza,
want, right? So it's all good.
So growing up, how was mom and dad? What was it like growing up with your parents?
Well, I'd say basic, kind of upbringing. I had a sister 5 years older, mother and father who worked for the most part. My father worked for DuPont, but it was more on like a assembly line. He might have been a supervisor there. I was able to work there some summers for him, in the warehouse. But traditional dad. He went to all my sporting events. He wasn't one of those loud Italian guys who you'd hear screaming from the sidelines. If he had something to tell me, he would call me over and he'd tell me, hey, why don't you move up on the plate and catch the curve before it breaks?
Yeah, you didn't know more than all the coaches and all the umpires.
Yeah, no, my father was more the strong, silent type. And when he did say something, it was like, oh, you better listen.
Yeah, that's great. That taught you your values, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Hard worker. You're saying he worked at the DuPont. Was it the paint company, wasn't it? DuPont?
No, DuPont was a division where they made like centrifuges, where you put the little test tubes in and they spin them around. And the factory that he worked in is what they basically specialized in. But you're right about the values. I remember my bedroom was right over the garage. So whenever my father would leave in the morning at like 5:45 in the morning, the electric door would go up, and I could feel it in my bed. And I don't know, it's probably why I'm an early riser today. I kind of grew up. So I remember, my father, he got up and he went to work. And, even to this day, at 68 years old, I get up and I go to work. So, I mean, sure, you are a product of your environment.
I think you are. I mean, and they always say morals aren't taught, they're caught. So the way you were brought up, very clearly, if you had a mother and father, and it sounds like they did that, we had an interest in your life, you're going to carry on their upbringing, their work ethics, which today I think we're losing a little bit sometimes in the country. But thank God for families like what you were raised into. Clearly, you can see Julie was brought up with some great values. What a sweetheart of a girl she is. Really, I mean, I couldn't be happier for Anthony to have met and married such a lovely lady.
It's nice of you to say that.
Oh, it's sincere, though. Your family, like I say, there's a lot of parallels, when we were talking that I could see, my father's same thing, good work ethic, took care of the family, and went on. But then you said you had a sister as well, right?
Yeah. So as I mentioned, my sister, who was 5 years older than me, and you talk about some of those things you pick up from your parents or your upbringing. So with my sister being 5 years older than me, she was into the music, and You know, I could hear her playing the Beatles records in through the walls in the room next to me, and that was probably a lot of my fondness for music to this day. I was introduced to it at an early age.
And you were close with your sister, were you?
Yeah, we were very close.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we lost her at a young age, so that was very difficult time for sure. But certainly, she was around long enough, I feel, to have made certainly a lasting impression on me.
Nice, because you have a talking with you all the time and first meeting and being able to sit with you and have nice discussion. You've got that, what's the word I want to use so I describe it right? You're like a worldly guy, okay? And I think when you have an older sibling that you're close to, I had 2 older brothers. One's 4 years older and one's 6 years older. So even though the age I'm at, I feel like I'm even 5 or 8, 10 years older than what I am, because they would always introduce me, like you're saying, your sister introduced the Beatles. And at your age, yeah, they were around, but you were pretty young when the Beatles were around.
Oh, sure.
So to be introduced to it early on in your age, that kind of gives you that character, you know? You got this good upbringing from your parents, and now your sister, of course, she was there 5 years before you. You got to be more your parents, rolled out to you at a paralleled age to kind of have a discussion. So that's cool as heck.
That's very cool. As a matter of fact, I always tell the story about my sister had an opportunity. Of course, I'm dating myself. I'm sure you would remember this, but the Beatles.
Easy on that, will you?
Well, we're both the same.
You go ahead.
The Beatles were playing at Shea Stadium. Maybe it was 65, I'm thinking, or something. And that was like a classic thing that happened. And I remember my sister came home one day and said, "Oh, one of my friends has tickets." And my father goes, "You know what? It's too crazy there. You're not going to the show." So that was one thing I wish she could have attended, but my father just thought it was. Can you imagine how crazy it is now?
Oh,
There's
sure.
no longer a Shea Stadium, but there is a City Field. Big Mets played there. But I'm saying my sister was a big Beatles fan, and I still am to this
Yeah.
day.
They're innovators in the industry, giants. I mean, everybody pretty much followed what they set out. They're rock and rollers. I mean, and that was their base, rock and roll. They made like, I don't know, a lot of Bobby sock music, I guess you can call.
Yeah, I know how many times I don't know how many songs at one time were in the top 10. It was like a ridiculous.
Yeah, amazing
type
at the same time. Even.
Yeah, it's crazy. Right?
Yeah, it is something. So it's from there, you went to college. You had mentioned New Haven. I know New Haven because the Knights of Columbus.
Right.
That's where they found that Father Michael McGivney, Blessed McGivney. He's one step away from being a saint. So what was it like there in New Haven? Kind of neat at the college?
Yeah, it was interesting, going to college there, and I tried to play baseball there. I tried to walk onto that team, which was, at the time, a very good team. I wasn't able to make the team walking on because they recruited a lot of guys, but still got the experience of New Haven. Also, New Haven at the time still had 5 colleges in that town.
Really?
So you talk about a college town. I mean, that was when you could go out and go to a bar, and on Thursday nights they'd have quarter vodka drinks. So I mean, for a college kid, that goes kind of, even for a college kid, it goes a long way.
Yeah, I bet it
So it was a good experience. There was Yale University, right? And there was the Pepe's Pizza. There was the New Haven Coliseum where you talked about. I believe that might have been where that area was where the Knights of Columbus started. In fact, getting back to the music thing, I remember also one time my sister and her friends were going to go see Elvis Presley at the New Haven Coliseum. She goes, "Could you drive us? We'll get you a ticket." I'm like, "Oh, Elvis, I don't know. I'm not really an Elvis fan, but I'll go." Up in the rafters, they're screaming. It was 95% women. They were going crazy. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take a walk around. I go down to the bottom where the stage is, and I'm on the corner of the stage. I must be like maybe 25, 30 feet from Elvis.
Right.
And, he's singing and the women are going crazy. And I remember one girl had a big bouquet of flowers and she's waving it overhead. And finally he leans over and he grabs the flowers and he gives her a kiss. She faints.
Oh my God.
I'm like, wow, this is Elvis, I guess.
Yeah.
This is the real deal.
And you were that close to him.
I was that close. Yeah. So that was something. I mean, I think he just died a year or two later, actually.
Oh, really?
70, I think it might have been 75 when I saw him. I think he might have died in 77, 76, 77. But New Haven treated me well, and I still have a lot of very close friends from there that I still see from time to time. So some of those, I mean, I always look back, would I've liked to, especially when I spent some time we talked about the California thing. I'm like, oh, geez, I would like to have gone to UCLA or something like that. But you know what? I would only, if I could do it again, I would only go there if I could bring some of these guys with me.
Yeah. Well, so that Coliseum, I'm just curious about. Was that like in a residential area?
It was actually the downtown area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just did. I'm bereavement minister over at my parish, and this one woman, she recalled, and that's why it's funny that you bring it up. She recalled hearing Elvis Presley from her window. She didn't always make because she couldn't afford. She was living, by herself. Her husband passed away at that time, raising 5 kids, and she says, "Wow, I could hear the music from the Coliseum at my house, so I didn't have to go to no concerts." And she loved
free
going to
ticket.
music.
And the tickets were cheap then,
Yeah.
but still.
So it wasn't a residential area.
It was not. It was a downtown.
I mean, downtown area, but there was housing around.
Oh, yeah, but it was close to,
Yes.
a block away or two, you could have some regular housing, residential housing.
Excellent. Yeah. So it's, and I know that's also rich with a lot of history in the New Haven area. I think, in fact, the other organization, Order Sons of Italy in America, oldest Italian American organization, founded in New Haven, Connecticut.
Well, the fact that the ports are nearby, too,
Yeah,
that a
to
lot of
help
the
it out.
boats would come in,
Sure.
so you'd get a lot of that. But there's certainly a lot of Italians in New Haven, Connecticut.
Yeah. How you feel about you keep the culture alive, your Italian American culture?
I'd like to think so. I think,
There's no mistake when someone says, "What's your name?" Trombetta. I mean,
yeah, and I consider myself a thoroughbred since my mom was an Anastasia. So
okay.
Trombetta Anastasia. I would like to think that mostly with when you talk about Italian and upbringing Italian, it's more of the tradition. Getting together for holidays and having
family.
people over, and you don't. We talk about it too all the time. You don't always need, people say, "Oh, I can't have it at my house. I don't have enough room." Well, you know what? I remember going over to my aunt's house who lived above a variety store that my uncles ran, and we used to put folding chairs, and we'd sit around and we'd eat off our plates. It
right.
wasn't so
On your lap.
bad, but we were at least all together. So the fact that you need a big house to get people together is
That was
I
the
don't buy
important
that.
part, right? So, the culture, which I got to bring up because you bring up the name Anastasia. That time you're growing up and that name, and you were in a professional business or getting into that type of work, that caused you any kind of hurdles having that?
No, I wouldn't say
name?
that. I mean, I was proud of the fact that I don't know, it was a great uncle Al Anastasia was murdered in a barber shop downtown New York City. But I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean that was any kind of a hurdle on my back. I was always very proud of it. In fact, I don't mind. You talk about some of the values that most Italians, I'd like to think, have. I just think they're a little warmer. They're a little more welcoming than a lot of other nationalities just don't seem to be as much. Now, am I a little prejudiced? Okay, maybe I am. But sometimes you hear people say things, you go, God, that's not the way I was brought up.
Yeah.
Different. I mean,
You know,
I'm not saying
growing
mine was
up,
the right
everybody
way,
was
but
an uncle, Mr., Mrs., or uncle or aunt, right or wrong.
exactly.
There was, and everybody was a friend. And somebody would come over, whatever time they come over, they'd come and visit. And if it was dinner time, there was always room for one more person. Or if someone didn't have somewhere to go for the holidays, I know your house had to be the same way. Come on, come by us. There's always room for one more.
I used to tell people, someone would say, "Oh, what are you doing for the holidays?" "Oh, we're hosting. How many people you having over?" And you say something like 22. They look at you like,
Like, where are you going to
wow.
put them? Yeah.
I mean, some people just don't have that much family to get together with. So we look at it as like the norm. And it was the same thing on my wife's side. She's a Calandrelli, and same thing. Just depending on which house you were at. It was at our house, her house. It was the same thing. Italians got together, and usually in a big number.
Nice. And it's just that when everybody gets together, you got everyone's pitching in. There's nobody just sitting around doing nothing. Everyone's pitching in. Usually the ladies push you out. Hey, go watch the football game. We got this, in the kitchen. That's what it was for me growing up.
Oh, sure.
I had my nanny, which was my grandmother. She lived in the house with us. So that was great. She would do all the cooking, and boy, could they cook, huh?
Oh,
From the main course, appetizers, all the way to the desserts, all homemade stuff.
When I was growing up, my mother would say, she would host Easter, and I remember I'd come out and I'd see my grandfather, who didn't speak any English, Okay, and I don't speak Italian, so we didn't have much to say to each other, But I remember I'd come out and I'd say, "Mom, why does Grandpa have the bottle of wine on the floor?" And she goes, "Well, there's no room on the table."
That's all.
That's what the table is
Yeah.
filled with.
And they were the big gallons. Well, most of them would make their own wine. Did your grandfather make his own?
He did at times, but he was old school in that regard. But for the most part, whenever I saw him, it was at our house, and we provided the wine, and he was just happy to sit there and be a part of it.
Nice. Excellent.
It was a good upbringing for sure.
And it wasn't Abu Dan's. It was a little bit of wine, made the meal go a little nicer. How about it?
Oh,
A
that's
nice
all. That's
little
all you
sip
need.
of the
Just a
wine
little,
was good
just
for
to
you.
calm yourself, right?
That's all. Chianti?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's
Excellent.
usually what the standard fare was.
Yeah, my dad would, he'd joke around. He'd make a song. He'd sing that Vini, 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 tu si bella, 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 waiting for you, just before we get ready to have dinner. Because we'd always make him say it. Come on, Dad, sing that song.
Right.
And it was just cute. And my dad was Greek and Italian, so it wasn't just all Italian. My mom, 100%. And yeah, you think of the memories and all the fun times and the growing up and all of that. Times are a little different. But if we take the tradition out of our families, we lost. It's our doing, right? Whatever values or morals or upbringing you have to bring it to the next generation.
We hope that.
Gianna's got to learn all of this stuff coming up.
Well, we hope that my wife and I, we hope that we continue that, and we hope that they'll continue that. I mean, when the time comes, we're not around. They remember what it's like to get together and be with family around the holiday. It's important.
And I see that, again, from the time when Anthony met Julie and everything, you guys are involved with all the children, right?
Yeah, we're very lucky that we have 3 children. They all live nearby, within 15, 20 minutes of each other. So to be able to maybe in one day, maybe see even all of them, we're blessed, and we know it. We have a lot of friends who don't have kids around the corner, who's down in Virginia, who's up in New Hampshire. I mean, they've got to travel to see their kids. So, and they do it just like we would if our kids were someplace else. But you just can't do it in an afternoon. Lucky enough that we can.
Yeah, and this couldn't have worked out any better. We got to spend the Thanksgiving holiday with yourself, lovely wife Joan, and everybody, and Janice. I got that right, Janice, and Laura. Laura's okay too.
Yeah, she'll come around.
It should be all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. No, but it was great, and it's like, I used to see Anthony a whole lot more, but then he was even in another state for a while. You kind of get used to it. And what my son even taught me, you're always learning from people. Be in the moment. And I'm sure you've heard him say that because he says it all the time. Don't be in such a hurry. Don't be in a hurry to go to the next thing. Let's just take the moment for what we're into now. In fact, yesterday he was trying to give his opening speech, and I was so fixated on getting the pictures to Julie that I was taking at the church.
Yeah,
and he's like, "Hey, Dad, I'm talking over here." Okay, Anthony, I got it. And I would have done the same thing. But it's important because you know what? I did put my phone down, and what he had to say was beautiful. He acknowledged everybody, and it's nice. The two of them together make just a great couple.
And I know for your family too, it's not easy that I know for a while Anthony was out in San Diego, so obviously he was away from you guys. I think he told me it's been 20 years since he left Chicago, and then then he starts up a life with our daughter Julie, and now it's Connecticut. I was telling Joan just the other day, my wife Joan the other day, about, I wonder if they thought that when he left San Diego, then got together with Julie, that maybe they try to make a life out there, out west, which of course, or maybe come home to Chicago.
Yeah.
And I look at that and I say, "Oh, geez, boy, that we would have not been." Well, I would say we wouldn't have been thrilled, but we'd hate to have lost Julie to another area in the country. But if she was going to be happy making that move, I'd say fine. But I hope that Anthony's family, even though we are not his immediate family, I hope the fact that he's now in Connecticut and starting a life and a family with Julie, that everyone back here realizes that we've got a close eye on him, and he's nothing but family like the rest of us.
Getting to know you, your wife Joan, and just seeing how Julie is as his father, it's a comfort to know that he's with you folks around. And I really mean that sincerely. You know, you do. I didn't even think my son could swim that good. He's first over on the West Coast by the ocean, and now he's on the East Coast by the ocean. So it must be something that's bringing him to the coastline. His work is what it is. I tease. But yeah, I mean, we got a phone call coming in. Should we grab it first real quick?
Let's go.
Hey, you're on WRMN. Who do we have on the line?
Hey, you got David T. Dino, how you doing?
Hey, David, what's going on? We're just at the top of the hour. So how's it going, my friend?
It's going great. I just got done snow blowing my driveway, the neighbors' driveways. Anybody that doesn't have a snowblower and elderly people, don't be that guy that just does his sidewalk and driveway if you got a big snowblower. Be the guy that takes care of your neighbors and helps them out if they're out there shoveling and struggling. Because this is a heavy little thick snow here that we had.
Yeah, we got a good amount, 9 inches, give or take. Yeah.
Yeah.
So hey, meet my new family member over here, Sal Trombetta. That's my son's father-in-law.
Hi, David. How are you?
Hey, good. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Dave works within the community. He's got a great plumbing business. He's involved in the politics out here, as well as he has a couple of radio spots right here on WRMN.
Oh, guy that does everything, huh?
That's okay. We're glad to have you around. We appreciate you, Dave.
Hey, I appreciate being on there and being with you guys. My boys are out my one boy and his buddy are out shoveling driveways, making some money.
There you go.
You know? So everybody's out there pitching in and helping out with our community with this snow. And that's a good feeling. You know, you go out there and it might be cold, might be wet, but, you know, it's well worth it that everybody can get in and out of their driveway and go to the store or go to the library or whatever you got to do today.
You're a good man, Dave. I appreciate you listening to the station, too, on a Sunday.
Hey, anytime with you on there, buddy. You guys have a good Sunday, and sure I won't meet your guy and all that stuff. But everybody have a good holiday.
Take care, Dave.
Thanks a lot, Dave.
Bye-bye.
Hey, that was our good friend Dave Tees. Like I said, he does a lot with the radio station. We are going to the top of the hour, so we're going to have to, you know, pick this up in just a little bit. We're going to can we talk your wife, Joan?
Yeah, if I could talk her to come out, I'd love
think
that.
she'll be good. I got some great things I want to talk about with the three of us on. And anybody else that's in the back, if we could talk Janice in there coming out, and Laura, but however we do it, we're going to get back to it. You've been listening to WRMN 1410, Dino's Night Out, special edition for Thanksgiving. We figured we'd bring family to the airwaves, especially on a Sunday. Okay, we'll be back in just a few short moments, so don't go no place. We got a whole lot more coming up in just a bit.
Dino's Night Out on WRMN. It's the talk of the town, so come on and listen now. It's Dino's Night Out on WRMN 1410. Dino's Night Out on WRMN. It's the talk of the town, so come on and listen now. It's Dino's Night Out on WRMN 1410.
Hey, welcome back. This is Julie. You are listening to WRMN.
WRMN 1410.
Welcome back. We're here with my family from Connecticut.
How do you like that?
We made it.
Sal, we got Sal joining us. That's my lovely daughter-in-law, and we don't do that in-law stuff either, especially with an Italian family, right? You're either a daughter or you're a son, and if you have that bond, they appreciate and they embrace it. Exactly. So we got Joan all the way on the your screen watching on TVB on your right, and we got Sal, of course, in the center, and beautiful Julie right here next to me. So we were talking about a lot of things. I know you guys were listening to us talk in the green room. Was Sal giving any lies, or was everything pretty good?
No, it was spot on.
Yeah, I think so.
Spot on.
Yeah, I love the stuff that he was telling me about the families. I think that's great.
You know, a story that he didn't mention was Sunday was always macaroni day with the gravy and the grandparents and all of that. And he would sneak over to his grandmother's house and always take the hard rolls and dip them in the gravy, and just to make sure it was perfect. And he always told that story, and it just always reminds him of his childhood.
And you know what? I'm going to tell you again, which again, you could feel the gravitation. Maybe you feel it. You just think, oh, this guy's trying to get in my pocket. I'm not. But I could feel the warmth and the love because that's what my nanny used to call the pasta was macaroni.
Well, there's
it was always macaroni.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
all it ever was.
macaroni.
We're going to have the macaroni, Ma. And then the gravy with the dip in the bread. We would go to church. My father was an usher, Catholic church. And we'd get home. We'd stop at the one deli, which happened to be a Greek deli, because he liked the breads with the seeds on it. You ever had that French bread with the seeds? Nothing like it. Quit kicking me, will you?
Sorry.
You know, Julie's
Getting
kicking me under the table. What'd you want? Did I say the wrong thing or what? No.
You're perfect.
I'm only playing. But anyhow, yeah, no one's safe when you're on the radio with me. So it would be that we'd stop and grab the loaf of bread, and he would get the feta cheese. My dad used to like that. The imported, couldn't be domestic. So I got the nice feta cheese, maybe some olives to go along with it. And then we would, boom, right to the house. First thing I do when I go in the door, in the gravy. And we call it gravy. A lot of people call it sauce.
He called it sauce. I called it gravy.
Yeah, why is that?
Don't know.
Yeah.
It's a big controversy.
Well, when you have turkey and the stuff you put on it, what is it? Is it sauce or gravy?
That's gravy. It's brown.
What color is it?
It's brown.
Okay, sauce, red.
Okay,
Sauce,
so when you
gravy.
put this nice, lovely liquid
our
on top of the macaroni, or for you, probably pasta, okay?
No,
what do you
no.
call that?
I'm a
Is that not
macaroni-
a gravy?
It's red sauce.
Red sauce. Okay.
It's the same thing that goes on pizza.
This is going to be a fight forever with sauce and gravy. No,
think
not with
so.
you and I, but I mean within
Within
everybody
him.
always fights that way over it. Kitchetta, Anthony's mother, always said it was sauce, and she's right. I mean, if the true definition, it is sauce. But those of us that think we're old school Italians, we call it gravy.
Indeed, I want to just appreciate you for asking me that question, because normally when my wife is sitting next to me, there's not much time for me to talk.
Yeah. Well, we're
So
going
for you to talk to me directly is quite
What did I
quite
tell
a
you?
pleasure.
Joan, say a few things over there, will you please?
What would you like to hear? What would you like to know about me?
Nobody's hearing nothing right now. So Sal, don't worry, I got your back, brother. I was able to turn the mic right off.
Oh, perfect.
So you
Thank
give me the
I
high
don't even know
side.
what's happening.
She's off the air.
Hey,
okay?
we share the same grandchild, so we got to stay together.
Well,
on
we'll
this,
keep
you
it
know.
going. But yeah, that's the kind of thing. I'm only playing with you, Joan. You know I love you. Right?
Yes, I do.
A little slow starting, I want to say. When we had to get together for Thanksgiving, it was a little on the slow side, getting there and do a little something over there. I mean, we're all cleaning dishes, moving this, moving that. And Joan's are fixing her hair, making sure everything's fine. And no, I'm only
Not
playing.
true.
She jumped right in.
How many years has it been since you haven't hosted or had something to do with a
I have
Thanksgiving meal?
not hosted or baked or any of that. I've been doing it for 42 years. This was my first year. I didn't bake. I didn't do anything. So I brought gifts because I was traveling. I couldn't even cook anything and bring it.
She just sat back. She felt like her sister Jill. Jill, are you listening?
Yeah. See, and that's something. Don't get it confused with Janice now.
No, or Jackie.
Or Jackie.
Or Jackie, no. Jackie's her new surrogate, but that's okay. But yeah, isn't that great though? I mean, really, you could tell it was warmth
Right
as
from
soon
the
as we had
start.
the opportunity to meet you, and I appreciate that because I'm a hard guy to really warm up to. You'll either like me or you'll hate me. Most of the people
very
tell me
easy.
all the time.
Very
But it was a nice thing, and I could tell. I knew where you come from because of talking with Julie, and you got a great daughter. I can't say enough about Julie.
Very true.
No, you really do. She's a great, great lady, and we're very fortunate.
Thank you.
I'm off the camera now because I'm blowing my nose. If those of you are wondering, why do you switch the camera? Well, that's what we do. If it was just radio, I'd keep talking, hit the snot locker, but I can't. I got to be a little bit more poised over here. And plus, I got the new in-laws in. I got to pretend I got manners. So that's what we do. So here I am back with everybody. Thank you. But yeah, it was a great getting everybody together. When you blend families, even I imagine with Julie and Anthony, and I like this and I like that. And they're probably both in the beginning lying to each other. Oh, I like that too.
No.
Oh, I love
No.
this too.
No. No, we hit it off right away.
Yeah, isn't that great?
Yeah,
Right
and
away.
what we bonded over right away was our families.
Isn't that
And
something?
so before you guys met and knowing you and obviously knowing my parents, I knew you guys would hit it off.
And you kind of knew us ahead of time because you had the preview with Anthony.
Exactly.
You had reason to be.
I got a good son too, don't I?
Yes,
Ain't he
very.
Yes,
great?
you did a great job with your son.
Oh my God.
At Thanksgiving, I was
Wes-
asking some of the family to give me some dirt on Anthony, and I said, he cannot be this perfect. And I got a little, not enough, but a little.
We
Well,
all
there were
got
some
our
stories.
quirks and shortcomings, but you'd be hard pressed as far as an individual credibility. You know, we talk about ethics and morals. You're not going to find none better
None better.
than my son Anthony. Heads and shoulders even over me, and I'm so proud to even say that. He's done a great job. He's taken a mixture of his mother and myself and became just a standalone, stand-up guy that I'm proud of.
Exactly.
Yeah, you should be.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
thrilled.
Yeah, he's really something. So, yeah, but anyhow, let's get back to the family stuff. I could sit there and get the tears in my eyes any other time. We don't have to do it on the radio. Because when I think about these two and I think about the way everybody is together like this, it's nice. It's refreshing. This is the way our lives should be. And I know you kind of didn't always have it so easy. You're both cancer survivors. How neat is that?
Yes.
Sal, you went through a piece. First, we'll let you go because I know she's going to monopolize the conversation.
No.
So tell us what happened, if you don't mind sharing it, just briefly. a little
No,
bit.
not at all. So it must have been, 31 years ago when I was diagnosed with testicular cancer. And, you hear the quote, you hear the C word. It's not a good word to hear, especially when it's directed towards your own health. I went through some surgery here or there where they had to take certain lymph nodes out and this and that, but everything was clean. And I got off pretty easy, and I've been able to kind of use the other C word, cure, as time went on. So
Nice.
I certainly consider myself a lucky guy. I do go still once a year to see my oncologist, just because he said, "Do you mind coming once a year?" I go, "No, how can I not do that?" So I do that, but it's kind of in the rearview mirror with me. Joan can tell you her story, but she's got more of a, should I say, somewhat ongoing, where she's a little more kept an eye on, but right now she's in great health, thankfully. But
If you have to go to a doctor to get good news once a year, I'll take that.
exactly,
And and I'm so happy that is behind you. We always got to be mindful of it.
Sure.
It's like luggage. Once you have it, you got that tourist or luggage until whatever,
always
and you have to monitor. But go ahead, Joan. Tell us what
Let's
what kind
see.
of happened
Well,
with you,
I
if you
was,
don't mind.
shocked back in '03 with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and I was part of a clinical trial, which kind of didn't work, so it came back, and then 9 years later, it came back again. But now I'm 10 years out. I get checked 3 times a year, and they keep a very close eye on me. So, God forbid it comes back, we'll take care of it again. And
That's
we've
the
lived our
spirit.
life through doctor's appointments and prayer and family and friends, and the support is off the charts. So we're never alone, ever, with this. So, faith and family
Yeah.
is really what it's all
I was
about.
just going to say, if you have faith, everything else follows.
Yep, yep.
You have that big guy in your life, and that's where it all starts. That's what brings you to your family, and that's what allows you to be the
Yeah,
person
we're in good
that you
hands.
are. So yeah, that's awesome. I'm great. And now you do some charity work for.
Yes,
what do
me
you
and my
do?
girlfriends, my Trumbull friends, there's about 10 of us. And
Did you say troubled
raise-
friends?
Trumbull,
Oh, Trumbull friends.
Connecticut.
Okay, go ahead.
some are a little.
Some are a
Some
little
are
troubled.
trouble,
Yeah,
but
that's
no,
why I
so
want to
no.
clarify that.
All of them are great.
I did get to know her.
That's
now.
for another Sunday.
Yeah, that's okay. We
My
got plenty of
Trumbull
time.
friends, we raise money for Make-A-Wish. We do this huge tag sale every year, and we raise considerable amounts of money. Maybe this year we did $17,000, and that would grant maybe 3 kids,
To get to
a
do something
wish.
spectacular that nobody else
And
could do.
it's, and Make-A-Wish is right at headquarters in Trumbull. So we've gone to the building, we've seen the kids, we've been honored, and they just appreciate us. They've been supportive. They've helped us with the tag sale. We had a fundraiser at one of the country clubs where Chris Barreau, my girlfriend Nancy's husband Chris, was the bartender. So we raised a lot of money that night. So through the years, we just do a little bit here and there, and all of a sudden we have all this money, and we give them a big check, and they are
That's
so
great.
appreciative, and the kids are, just special. They go through a lot. Think it's hard for adults to go through cancer. The kids, and then you got the parents on top of it, the worry. So if we could make their lives even a speck happier, me and my girlfriends are all in.
That's got to be a great
Yeah,
feeling.
yeah, it is.
I played Santa Claus for
Oh,
the Shriners Hospital. Shriners, you got burn victims, you got amputees, you name it, you got it. It's just, I be with the Santa Claus makeup. By the time I walk out, I got these two streaks going down. I look like the scary clown walking
know.
out.
It's
But I
touching.
tell you, if your heart isn't touched and you don't take a minute to, every time I do something like that, first thing I did was went right home to my kids, give all three of them the biggest hug and kiss
Oh,
in the world.
definitely.
We are fortunate,
Mhm.
and knowing on your side of the family and ours as well, that we don't have a child that of sickness or any of the other
They're all
uh,
healthy.
problems that we could have endured. So what a blessing that is. And to be able to give and help these children out, they're the heroes. They all look at us like, oh, you gave this money, you donated it. Money's nothing. I'd give my last dollar if I could save the life of some child. So, and I know your heart's the same way,
Mhm.
you know. Yeah, I talk a little bit too much sometimes in the car, but other than that, I think your heart is as warm as it could be.
Yes.
No, very seriously, you do a lot of good thing, and again, you're a survivor. You're a cancer survivor. You get it. The worst thing in the world is to have someone, oh, I know how you feel. No, you don't.
Not
I would
really.
never say that to somebody.
No,
You
you
know,
don't. Yeah.
you
But
have,
I appreciate the gesture and the love and the
yeah,
caring. But
that's nice when people say it.
some people do say the most ridiculous things because they
They
just
don't
don't
know
know
what to
what to
say.
say. But
Yeah,
you know what? I take where it's coming from. It's coming out of love and
that's nice.
friendship. So that's fine.
So, what do you think, Julie? You got some pretty awesome parents, I would
I
think.
do.
Here.
Yes, I
Yeah.
was raised right, that's for sure. And that's from these two.
What do you think is like? What do you find most special about your? Let's keep them. We'll keep them together as mom and dad. What's the best thing that you get from your mother and father?
Oh, just the way that they love each other, the way that they have all their friendships still from their childhood and college, and they've made such a great group of friends from Trumbull and beyond. And so the way that they are with each other and the way that they are with their friends, I hope to only have, quarter of that. in my life.
They say it all. Like charity. Charity starts at home, but it's not just necessarily the giving and charity in that sense. But it's the idea that, just like what you're saying, I watch your father look at your mother,
Yeah.
and it brings me back to my mother and father. You could tell when someone's there, the love they have. What I told you early on, if you remember when I met you, the
Yeah.
way you just look and admire Anthony, and geez, the way Anthony always looked at you, you could see the love connection that's there. Okay. And look what comes out of it. You got I got a nice granddaughter out of this, Gianna. We all share the granddaughter, but you got a beautiful daughter.
Thank
I mean, going with the rest of our family. I mean, I showed it on the Thanksgiving, but those of you that do have the YouTube, there we go. And there's our family. This is what makes up our family right
Yeah.
now. And it's everybody there that's included. And
Can't
it's
believe
great.
they made the cut.
How about, you
Yeah.
got Ava and Layla, aren't they something?
Yeah.
Layla,
Oh,
she's getting to be
They're the
so
best
grown
older
up.
cousins to Gianna.
Yeah. So they all get along. They were like at Thanksgiving, all sitting around
Mhm.
together.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it was
Playing.
great. Francesca, my little Francesca, she's the um, part two of Anthony. She's the twin, and she's going to be having a baby soon. What is she, 8 months now? Yeah.
Yep. She'll
Okay.
be
So
9
she's
months
at
in
8 months.
a couple weeks.
But everybody was there for Thanksgiving. We all get Stephen Gay, that's Chris, my son-in-law, my son. Parents was there. Jimmy and Francesca, it was great. Stephen Conchetta, Rocco, our other. I've always called him son. When his father passed, he come to move with our family, and that's how Rocco's been a part of our family, and he's been just every bit of a son. And he's godfather to Gianna. How do you like that?
Yep.
Daniela was the godmother.
Yes.
So you made good selections.
Thank you. Yes, and Gianna has amazing cousins out in Connecticut, Chase and Miles and Madison. So I come from a family of three, my older sister, my older brother, and they have kids. And my brother's wife, Kristen, is expecting a baby boy at the end of
Oh,
January, early
congratulations to
February.
them.
So on both sides, the family is growing.
That's nice.
5 grandkids in 5 years for us.
And that's something?
It'll be
Oh, my
5 in
God.
5 years, right?
5 and
5
5.
years ago, we didn't have any. It's kind of crazy.
Yes,
Anytime.
grandma daycare is up and running.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How you
Gianna
like it?
Monday.
Isn't it? It's a different
Oh my
feeling,
God,
isn't
it's
it?
a whole different thing than having your own children.
Yeah.
So much better.
Oh yeah, someone told me a while ago, and I couldn't quite understand this. They said, "You watch when you have grandkids." They said, when you have your own kids, and how you think back. I'd kill for my kids.
Oh, right.
But now they say, you know what? You'd kill your kids for your grandkids.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, they're right about that.
No.
Julie, watch your step.
Yeah. I will.
Yeah. Keep an eye. Good thing you got.
No, I think
people out
my
there.
parents' relationship, though, a lot of people set their relationship as the standard. Our family friends, my friends will always kind of say, like, Joan and Sal, that's the golden standard of a marriage. So we all
How you
have
like
that to
that?
look up to.
Now, that's one heck of a compliment. You could tell that just by, Sal's humility looking down, doesn't want to, and Joan looking up in the air. But you know what?
Well, he married
Take
the
that
perfect
compliment.
girl.
Yes, both of you, I think, did good on both ends. But take that compliment. We don't, I get funny too when someone wants to give you a compliment on this or that. But, sometimes you have to take them and graciously just say, you know what? Thank you very much. And that's great. It's great to be that person. It's great that not only your family looks to you that way, but her, people her age and her friends growing up looked at you too
Very
that
true,
way.
very true.
Even your mother said, because I guess Joan brought around a lot of Mr. Wrongs,
Yeah.
but she always thought I was Mr. Right.
Yeah, my mother had dementia, and even when she was pretty sick, Sal and I were with her, and he did something to make me laugh, and my mother said, he still makes you laugh.
Isn't that nice?
Which was, she used to say that back in the day, and she still said it even when she was sick. So,
Well, I
She was
also
onto
heard
something.
I heard some other silly rumor that he doesn't really have to worry about that because all the others, they're gone, right? Isn't that what you were saying?
yeah, four of my past boyfriends are
Yeah.
more
So you got to worry.
dead.
You got to worry about the callbacks, right?
He doesn't really have to worry.
Yeah.
My kids call me the Black Widow.
That's
They
what it
wonder
is.
why I sleep with one eye open.
Yeah, that's what it is. I think something like that, huh, Sal? I was getting into that. Sal works a great straight man here because he understands the value of comedy, and when the timing is always everything, of course. Sometimes my timing ain't the best, but that's okay. I still say it, and sometimes it goes over good, and sometimes it's that lead balloon. But Sal, you did some comedy, right, in college days?
Yeah, that was a long time ago. I was, I don't know, probably had too many beers at the Rathskeller and tried out for a play show and got like a lead part. And one of my roommates, Mike Palazza, Motts, a lot of people know him, at least back home, did the play together. And then we started doing some stuff on stage there. And then they said, you should do some other things. And one thing led to another. And we ended up doing some stuff at, this is dating me too, Catch a Rising Star in New York City. It was called Rick Newman's Catch a Rising Star on like 3rd Avenue. So we did a little bit of that.
A little
it was a
stand-up
fun
type
time.
stuff.
Yeah, and we also had
Rodney Dangerfield.
Rodney Dangerfield. I actually met Rodney Dangerfield because he went on once. In fact, he went on once before us. We're like, well, that's a tough act to follow. But he would
Not
practice
really.
his
He
stuff.
was warming them up for you.
Yeah,
That's how
man,
that works.
I don't know. I think most of them left after he left, but he would try his act there before he went on Johnny Carson's Tonight Show. But it was fun. I mean, in fact, my friend Motts still does it on the side. He still does stags and he does comedy things. And, of course, it's been a long time since I've done that, but I still go and watch him. And it makes me feel good that maybe I was a part of that with them way back when.
Well, maybe we'll start doing across the nation here. We'll make either a podcast or
I should
we'll
have thought
do
about it. As I
do a
could have.
Zoom call. We'll do a little comedy.
He would have
hour.
easily called in if I.
Yeah, we'll get him in.
Yeah.
That would be wonderful. Yeah. But yeah, you enjoying your stay while you're out here?
Oh, we love it.
How did you
We
like,
love
Joan, the beef sandwiches?
You know what? I didn't taste the beef sandwich because my stomach I'm a little nervous being on camera. I was mystery reader for my for my grandson, and I said, I'm getting the butterflies like I'm mystery reader. But anyway, the food here has been just unbelievable. I used to come here when I worked at Cuisinart. I used to come here every January and July and work at the Housewares show. and I stayed at the Drake, and we used to go to Miller's to have ribs. We had the deep dish pizza, and we just loved it. And coming back here after all these years, I still remember a lot of it. So I love this town. I think it's so much fun. The people, this is what I can't get over. Every time we went to a bar, which was quite a few, we would, belly up to the bar and try to get a seat, and there were people just say, "Oh, you take my seat," or they'd move their coat, their pocket. But I said, "This is so different than New York."
Yeah.
Everybody's very warm. It's just been great.
Midwest,
we've had the best
Midwest hospitality.
days. The
That's
4
what you're
days have been great.
experiencing. Overall, I like to think that the Midwest is like that. New York is good. New York's a little tough. They're a little
it's a
more
little bit tougher.
resilient.
Tougher.
Yeah, a little-
Rougher.
yeah. But they kind of had to be. You had a lot of things
Yeah.
going in New York.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, New York's got a lot.
you got a
to
huge
offer.
population out there that you're.
Yeah,
You
but
know.
it's got a lot to offer.
Oh, guess what? That's our bottom of the hour.
Oh.
We still got about a minute till we're going to be off, but you're going to stick around and we're going to talk some more. Are we going to try and coax your sister and her daughter to come on
We're
out
gonna
here?
try.
I think they'll like it. Once they seen how you went through this, it was a cakewalk, right? We're just talking.
Yeah.
We're having a nice conversation. All right, everybody. This is WRMN 1410. This is our special edition for Thanksgiving. We got family in here. Nothing better than family. And what's better to have your family on the radio with you? And we even got them on YouTube. So we're going to be able to remember this for a long time. We'll be back in just a few short moments. Listen to these messages. We got the weather at the bottom of the hour. And then we'll be back. We'll be talking with Sal. We'll have definitely Joan, Julie, and maybe we could talk, I don't want to call her Jackie, but Janice to come in along with Laura. We'll see you in just a little bit. And my son Anthony, he's producing the show. That's the voice you hear in the background. See you in just a little bit.
When your car is making a strange noise, no matter what it is,
Come on and listen now. It's Dino's Night Out on WRMN 14.
Hey, welcome back. This is Julie at WRMN 1410.
Hey, how do you like that? She got it right. She can be taught.
I had
Well,
to
she's
do
an
it again.
educator.
I had to try again, yes.
I think you did a great job.
Thank you.
Outstanding job. So we had a bunch of stuff we talked about. We just added my son Anthony now to the dais, we'll call it, at this point. And he was the voices in the background, so that's what we call him, the producer. There's always somebody in the back. Don't say this, I got to say that. So we got him out here, and he can jump right on the microphone as well. But yeah, we hit the whole circle over here, meeting everybody, family for our first time. Or my first time anyhow, because I think Acheta went out there to Connecticut. So it was great. It's been a wonderful little summit. We also were able to accomplish the christening, which went very well. We had Daniela, my other daughter, my oldest. She did a lot of the coordinating of the food type stuffs. So it was a great time. I think we had a great time felt by everybody. So let's see, where did we leave off? Well, we're going to talk to Julie a little bit. I think is the right thing to do. And let's talk a little bit about school. You're an educator back in Connecticut.
Yes, I am.
How long you been doing that?
This is my 8th year in middle school. So,
8th year.
Yeah, 7th grade. So middle child of the middle school, we say.
That's okay.
It's tough, but they're great. I'm not used to talking to, all the masses out here of you listeners. I'm used to talking to 11 and 12-year-olds, so different speed. But
You
I
don't
love
know our clientele then, evidently.
I don't know.
You don't know our listeners. Believe me, you've hit the nail on the head in many cases.
Which I think seventh graders, let's be honest, I think they're a pretty tough group, right?
Yeah, certainly.
Oh, sure they are. Well, you got a tough lady here. She
They
knows how
think
to
they know
handle it.
everything.
Well,
Julie,
They
we
do.
talked earlier about the AI thing, and didn't you tell me
Yeah.
at one point what are some of the boys doing with the AI these days?
Yeah, well, they have the entire internet and AI at their fingertips, and they actually know way more about it than we do. Our professional development that we've had the last only maybe year or so has been focused on AI, but these kids, they know it better. With teaching science, I don't do a lot of essays, writing assignments. We do some writing, but I make them do it by hand, which they hate. So I don't give them a ton of opportunity to even use AI. I try to keep a notebook. I try to keep it pencil paper, going old school, if you will, because a lot of them lost their handwriting skills over the last, especially 5 years. So my fellow teachers who are English teachers or social studies, and they're doing a lot of reports and a lot of essays, they have to more so watch out for the AI. But we now have websites that can kind of catch that. They kind of have these indicators that show like this has been done with AI.
Right. Posturing and
And
structuring. Yeah.
we also know, like we know you don't know the meaning of that word because you're 11. So they try, and because they think they know everything, sometimes we'll try
Try and slip one by
yeah,
you.
yeah. But
Doesn't
it's
happen.
middle school is a big learning, right? We learn from our mistakes. So of course we bring it up to them, but we use it as a learning opportunity and say like this isn't the right thing to do.
And it's not acceptable.
Right.
Exactly. Well, that's good. So that's what I was saying, Sal. I think that, the teachers are hip to what's proper, what isn't proper.
Yeah.
And do you agree with me? I mean, AI could not replace what you do.
No.
Not just to keep your job, but just be
No.
straight,
The relationships that
Oh,
we have with kids.
We have a phone call.
Oh.
If you guys want to hear what the
Yeah,
what
here
we
what Maz
you'll
has
have
to
to
say.
listen
You
on.
want to get up, put those on.
Hello, you're on WRMN. Who do we have on the line?
This is Gia. I'm just calling to say hi.
Hey, Gia, how you
How are you
doing
doing?
today?
I'm good. How are you?
I couldn't be better. I got family on the radio today. How you like that for Thanksgiving?
That's great. How was your Thanksgiving?
Absolutely wonderful. Did you have a good one yourself?
Excellent. I did. I was blessed to have my family around me. And one of my brothers came into town from Ohio, so I was really happy to spend time with him.
That's awesome. Gia is one of our, you guys here in studio with me. Gia is one of our WRMN family members, and she's been a part of the station. She's got a real thing, cool thing going on. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. I know we got it. We talked about it. There it is. We're going to show everybody on the screen. And what this is somebody's daughter is loved. Kind of what's been going on in the area a little bit. There's been a lot of that, like roofies. They're putting stuff in bars, in the ladies' drinks. And yeah, it's really unnecessary. And so she's got a new foundation type thing going on. She's trying to at least teach them a little bit of self-defense, different things. And Gia, why don't you talk about it? You speak about it better.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited about something that we added just over the Thanksgiving holiday. So my brother took a look at our website, and he's like, Gia, that's great, but there's nothing for the guys.
Yeah,
on
we
the
had talked
website.
about they could be victim to this as well.
Right. But what my brother did, he helped me to write a pledge, and now we have a link on our website where guys can pledge to be a protector of women, a hero in women's lives. And I think it's huge. I think it's a great idea. So, yeah, that was just updated on our website today. And, yeah, we're really starting to roll forward, so I'm really excited about it. But it's creating an awareness of the dangers of what happens with drink spiking and other things like abductions and all the dangers that women and girls face in our society today. And, the organization is really working to change the culture.
Excellent. No, it's a great thing that you got going on, and we appreciate you stepping forward. I know you got Cecilia Brooks working with you on that.
Yes.
She's definitely a young leader that's going places. So
Yeah, and actually, Andro Lorario, who is the chairman of the Kane County Republicans, he came on as my co-president.
Oh, excellent.
Because he has 4 daughters, and it's important to him.
It's a topic that's really needs some attention. I'm glad you were spearheading this to get this out in public. We're going to have you on coming up this coming week, like we talked about. So we'll look forward to hearing more and how you're involving and including the men with this as well.
Absolutely. Well, I just wanted to call in real quick and say hi.
Happy Thanksgiving, Gia. Thank you.
You too. Have
Appreciate
a great
your
rest
call.
of your day.
All right.
Okay.
Bye now.
Bye.
And we got another call. Hey, who's on the line? You're listening to WRMN?
Hi, this is Rita calling.
Oh, we got
I'm
another
calling
one.
to wish you I'm calling to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving.
Why, isn't that wonderful? Thank you, Rita.
You're welcome. Bye.
All right, bye. Okay, we got everybody but Mats. What's going on over
No,
here?
Rob wants it too.
Okay, but that's great. Thank you for calling in, Gia. That's wonderful. You know, the program we're talking about for her, Somebody's Daughter is Loved. It's a great opportunity for people to get involved and, you know, be that big brother for that man or woman that's out there that's, you know, maybe vulnerable. But there's a lot more to come on that. We appreciate you calling in, Rita. And we'll get back to our show until we were expecting a call, and here it comes in now. Okay. Hey, you're listening to WRMN. Who do we have here, please?
This is Michael Palazza, otherwise known as Motts. I'm friends with Sal Trumbetta and Joan.
Hey, we heard all about you, Michael.
Hi, Mats.
Hello there.
So listen, we understand that you've got a little background in comedy. Is that a fact?
A little bit, yeah. I started with your guest there, Sal Trumbetta.
Yeah, how cool would that be?
It was cool.
Was he more of the straight guy, or did he come out with him first? He looks like a guy that could pitch, you know?
Yes. No, he was very funny. We were roommates in college, and we started not really with any goal to set out to perform comedy. We were more entertaining our fellow roommates.
We'll stay away from saying
exactly.
entertaining our base because that's not taken as a good thing right now. But go ahead. What do you think, Sal?
Well, we did a lot of stuff together, wrote stuff together, and then we ended up doing a couple things in actually New York City, and we got to meet some of the comedians who were really big, and it was a thrill, you know, because I've always said the hardest thing is to make people laugh. Because they go to these comedy shows, they still sit back and like go, all right, let's see what you got, make me laugh.
Yeah.
But Motts thankfully went on and is still doing it, and he's pretty gifted at what he does.
I got to check out a couple clips, Mats.
Well, obviously you took my phone call, so they didn't offend you.
None whatsoever. So how would somebody, if they wanted to look onto a website or something, how could they follow you?
I'm on Instagram, or I'm also on Facebook. I'm an old guy. So
Yeah, me too. I got both of them.
I'm not much on social media.
That's okay.
But yeah, I actually I just had a show last night in actually my hometown, Stamford, Connecticut.
Beautiful. So, like, is it just your name Michael, or do they go for Mats? What do we go for?
Mostly Motts. A lot of people don't even know my real name.
Okay.
I grew up in Stamford. It's a nickname I got when I was in second grade, and it kind of stuck.
Motts?
Yep, like the applesauce.
Yeah. And you know what? Mott's Lounge, there's a place right here in Burlington, and it's been through 4 generations of owners. It's a really amazing place. In fact, they've said a lot of this area here was one of Al Capone's hideouts. And they had the owner of the place, the original owner, you know, they did business back and forth. So that Mott's name goes back a long way. You don't have no one that lived out in the Burlington, Illinois area?
No. This was more of a, a kid thing, I guess, when we were little. One of the guys in my class, his name's Mickey Tarantino. And I think they started out with calling me Meatball. And then he just one day called me Matzo Ball, and it kind of stuck for no other reason than that. You know?
Well, that's okay. So give us a little teaser. Give us a little something here. I know we're putting you on the spot, but I know you got a arsenal and a whole host of material. Why don't you share just a little something for us? And remember, we're on the radio. I don't have a dump button, so be kind.
Well, all right. No, usually I talk about real life stuff, things going on in my life, maybe with my marriage, my kids, growing up as a kid, with an Italian family, and with my grandmother who. Well, she was actually my great grandmother, and we used to go over there when I was a kid. And I don't know, you're Italian, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so my grandmother, great grandmother, had a tradition, and we'd go over there, and she would rub. I don't know if you're grandmother, great grandmother ever did this to you, but they brought me over there so she could rub garlic on my stomach to get rid of the worms, which I didn't know I had, or how the heck I would get them. And so she would take me. My mother and grandmother would take me over there, and she would chant over me in Italian and rub my my stomach with about a fistful of garlic, and it kind of scared the heck out of me. And then I went home to play with my friends because I was only 7 or 8 years old. And of course, what do you play back in the 60s? It was hide and go seek. So it was kind of easy for them to find me after that, since I had my great grandmother rub about 20 cloves of garlic on my stomach. So I didn't last in the game too long.
Well, they wanted to hang around you because the vampires stayed away too, right?
That's right. I never got bit by a vampire.
Yeah, I bet you wouldn't. Yeah, all the old Italians, all these different things that they used to think, the old wives' tales, what would work, what didn't work. Yeah, castor oil was another one, right? They'd make you drink.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was
brioche, remember that one?
Oh, brioche.
Brioche for the blue bottle
That was big.
with them crystals.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks
Yeah.
scary. You know what I mean? And much less you
Yeah.
had to drink that stuff for the agita or for the American's indigestion.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Mats, we were talking earlier. Is it sauce or gravy as far as you're concerned?
Well, my mother used to make the bolognese, so that's her main dish with pasta. So I always called it meat sauce.
Yeah.
Gravy to me, I mean, I've had this argument before, and then next thing you know, fight breaks out, and wooden spoons start flying. So, but I called it sauce.
Well, you got to be, because you identified Mott's as Mott's sauce, so I knew you'd go to that sauce side.
Yeah.
Yeah. The applesauce. That's what I know Mott's is. Whenever I hear Mott's, I think applesauce.
Me too.
I don't think
That's
meatballs, right?
No.
Was that any indication as to size? Because there was a time I was probably called meatball and even worse.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. 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 This was just a kid thing. I mean, we were probably 7 years old, 8 years old when they started calling me that. And
Funny
it
how a
kinda
label
stuck.
sticks.
Why, I don't know.
That's okay.
Yeah.
You wear it well, if nothing else, right?
Yeah.
It goes
works for
along with
me.
the comedy.
Like I said, yes, that's what most people know me as, and that's kind of when I go to a show. I don't even usually use my first name. I just go in as Mats Palazza.
Excellent. You have a big family there in Connecticut?
Not as big as it once was. Mostly everybody's gone, but I have 2 daughters, 3 grandchildren, and 1 on the way, and I have a couple of cousins still left around, but that's about it.
Well, you got family here. If you know the Trombettas, you got plenty of family to go around.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. I've spent many an occasion with the Trombetta family.
Yeah, this was my first holiday with them, weekend with them, because we did the christening as well. And I tell you what, it was a nice experience. It was absolutely wonderful. Warmth and love.
It's always a wonderful experience with the Trombettas, especially since once Sal learned to use the utensils.
It's got a whole lot better, I'll bet, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
They don't hold as much, though.
No, because just scoop it with your hand is out. Right?
That's it. That's it.
Well, listen, we're glad you joined us. We appreciate you calling in. Anything you'd like to add or say with us before we go?
Well, I just hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving, and that everybody has a happy and healthy holiday season. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and the best to everybody. Stay healthy.
We appreciate you calling in.
Thanks for calling in, Mike.
All right. We'll catch up with you soon. Maybe we'll do a little something. We'll what do you call it? Zoom you
Give
in.
me a gig out in Chicago. I'll come right out.
There you go. I always said that, hey, if you'd like to see me on the Johnny Carson show, call Johnny because I'm available.
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
That's it.
All right, Mats. Listen,
Take care, Mats.
pleasure to meet you
All
on
right,
the radio.
Bye, Mats.
Bye-bye.
Great talking with you.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Bye.
All right, everybody. That was all the way live from Connecticut. Mats on stage right here at the WRMN studio, Studio 14, which we're all in right now. This has been a nice little thing, calling different people. I like that. I like we had the other calls in.
Mm-hmm.
That lets me know that other people are listening to the station by Gia and Dave calling in. It's like, wow, this is neat. I like it. And Rita is our, I can't use that word no more. Rita's on top of everything. We'll just leave it that way. If we ever, break signal or something like that, boom, right on the phone with Dennis and we get it corrected. You need someone like that, because I listen to the radio all the time, but sometimes I'm not close enough to the antenna. I'll have it on the app, or you listen to it on the website. But yeah, I don't have the opportunity sometimes to hear the signal. And we've been having problems with this Comcast, but we're working it out. It's getting much better. But yeah, this has been really wonderful. My camera's frozen up, so we're keeping the camera on you. I know you see me in the bottom left little corner. I just reduced mine because who wants to see me, frozen over there? It's like we're playing statue maker, okay? So I'm the wax figure in the bottom left. Those of you playing the home game, but we'll roll with it. You don't have to see no more pictures of me. There's always enough pictures of me to go around. So yeah, this has been really, really wonderful. We still have a little bit more left. Joan, let's go to you now a little bit more. We were talking with Julie, telling us about how you like those kids you're teaching, right? Third
Love
grade? Did I remember?
Seventh grade.
Seventh grade.
Yeah, they act like third graders sometimes.
Oh my God, they got to be rough.
Yeah.
And they're grown. They're like young adults.
I mean, yeah. It's a thankless job, but it's a very rewarding job. And I mean, if you're not a teacher, you can't fully grasp the feeling of it. You can be so happy 1 second, 20 minutes later, you're so incredibly frustrated. Then you turn around and one kid, gets it, what you're trying to teach them. And that's what it's all about. So it's a roller coaster for sure. Every day is a roller coaster.
I don't know how I got third grade out of the conversation, but
That's
sorry
all right.
about that.
In 7th grade, Julie's got to tell them, 1 or 2 spray of cologne or perfume at that age, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
they're
it's a big transition in education and hygiene, in growth. There's a lot going on with them. So
What's the brand?
oh, Axe still
Oh,
somehow.
Axe. Wow.
Gotta get you the
And
throat
I
sometimes.
smell it because they spray it for probably 5 seconds, which is way too much, and it brings me right back to my middle school experience, and it's a lot.
It was Axe then even.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's still Axe.
So she could even tell when it's the expensive stuff, and she can tell that they picked on their parents' stuff.
Yeah, I'm like, that's certainly not yours.
Yeah, it's funny, you watch them grow. That's why I always thought, do you like having one age group or one grade as opposed to, like, would a teacher benefit by following them from their, first grade, stay with them all the way to 8th? I was always wondered how that would work,
I would prefer to stay in one grade rather than follow. You can just reach more kids that way.
Is there any school system that does that?
There will be situations where teachers loop. That's what it's called. I've heard it happen maybe just from like 6th to 7th grade by just kind of the teacher got moved that year. So they were teaching 6th grade, and then for whatever reason they get moved to 7th grade, and they so happen to have that same group of kids. But it doesn't happen usually. I'm sure there are schools out there that do that intentionally, but that's not the norm in my
And then if you do any extra education, I know they're always trying to promote you as teachers to get more education.
Yes.
Then if you're staying with the 7th grade group, you hone those skills that's more toward that age.
Yeah.
So I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, just one quick second before we get to Mom here. Julie's the middle school basketball coach. So shout out to the Tomlinson Thunderbirds. They have
go Thunderbirds!
First home game is tomorrow.
Yeah, I gotta get back. Gotta get back to school tomorrow so I can teach and coach.
You better watch the flights. We had a lot canceled,
Yeah, well,
I know.
hopefully I'll be there. No, I will.
You're going to be there no
Yes.
matter what. I know you better. You're with my son. He'll get you there no matter what happens.
We'll be there.
Well, we're going to get down to like maybe about 3 minutes. Joan, we're going to give you the last couple of words here. And
You
then
sure
we'll
that's
close
enough
out.
minutes for her?
Well, you want to take them? Solid. It's up to you.
No. I've had
I know
my
you're
time.
going to. Yeah. If you don't let her have it now, it's a long ride home. Long ride to Connecticut.
I'm only kidding.
So go ahead, Joe. Give us a last little thing about Thanksgiving, the family, about anything, the favorite person you met out here, me.
Well, I have to say I had a conversation with Anthony's mom, and
Don't listen to what she says about me. It's not
and
true.
I was talking to one of Sal's cousins, and I said, if Conchetta was in Connecticut, we would be best friends.
Yeah.
She is cut from the same cloth as me. She She likes the same things. She is all about family and friends. She's all about the food. I might drink a little bit more than her, but she would be a best friend. She's really just one of the top people I have met. Yeah, she's really
She was always easy to make friends with people.
so sweet.
Yeah.
And
She's a,
so I've enjoyed spending time. I met your family back in Connecticut when they came. We went to St. Margaret's Shrine for pizza free, and we really got to know each other then. And then seeing them now, I feel like I've known your family for forever.
well, that same
It just
goes.
feels very natural,
Yeah.
very organic, very smooth. So,
Well, this has been great. We do appreciate you joining. We're going to be off of here in 19 seconds. Sal, thank you very much. Joan, of course, Julie, we appreciate you
Thanks
here.
for having us.
Anthony, my son, I love my family. And we got in the back, we got Janice and Laura. They didn't have the guts to come out. How about
No.
that? We got Mott's on the radio, but they wouldn't. WRMN 1410 special Thanksgiving show. We'll see you next time. Thank you.